Well, tonight's going to be a real fun one. Jason, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? My TTG crew. What an interesting night it is. All right, guys, who we have with us here tonight? The usual TTG crew, my fam. What's going on, guys? We got Glenny, Young Hio, Rodrigo, James Earl Scones, JJ, Sean Miller, Judy. What's up, Judy? Ricky Jennings, Extreme Gamer, Devlin, Mav, Renzo, Peter, Fernando, Christina, Jason. What's up, guys? Mr. D. Joe R. Hirsch, what's good, man? Andrew, Oscar, Mr. Wright, Bo, Pete, Richie, Scalia, and of course, Nick Lowry. You look like a cold assault stormtrooper.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's my Florida shirt, because you need to own one camo shirt if you're gonna live in Florida.
All right, what's going on, guys? How was everybody's weekend? I hope everybody had a nice, enjoyable weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the holiday, had the extra day off. Hope you guys spent some time putting some work in, doing some studying, going through some courses.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I went swimming. I took a lot of naps, and I drank a bunch of wine. Occasionally, I looked at futures.
Yeah, what are we up? Half a point?
Yeah, on this on the spy. I mean, yesterday was a completely different story. I'll give it to you yesterday. So yesterday at like 8 o'clock, we were 0.17 on the Dow, half a point on the SPY, and 1.3% on QQQ, which is NASDAQ. Small caps, barely nothing. VIX, 1.5% yesterday at 8. So, the reason I know this is because I take pictures at different times and then use it as a reference point down the line. That's something maybe some of you guys want to do. You don't have to. You'll end up with thousands of screenshots on your cell phone. But, yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't really buy it, honestly. I really just don't buy it. I'm not saying that we're going to get crushed tomorrow. I'm not saying that, we can't be green. I'm just saying that it's not going to be like, oh, nothing to see here. Like it was just an anomaly. I think we're still going to see a lot of risk off, and maybe what we're just seeing right now is just the idea of rotating.
Yeah. We've got Jacob Nelson. Wolf says, I straight up just got my appendix out, and I'm so excited because I get the week off to trade with Michael Edwards. That's what I'm talking about, Jacob. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just don't get too excited. I don't want you to rupture any stitches or anything like that. I mean, I've never had my appendix taken out, but I'm sure it's probably not good for you to be getting a little overly excited.
Yeah. Probably just chill. Paper trade.
All right, guys. All right, so what's up, everybody? I'm glad to hear that so many of you had a nice, relaxing, enjoyable holiday weekend. Hope you guys spent some time with friends and family. Just relax. I celebrated my grandmother's 90th birthday,
Oh,
so that was awesome. Um, guys, what we're going to be going over here, Jason and I on this live stream tonight, we're going to talk to you guys mostly about what we expect coming into this week. Everybody got rattled a little bit last week when we had that big sell-off, that big pullback. Jason and I were all over that move in the broader markets. If you guys caught my video from Friday, if you caught any of the live streams from last week, you guys will see that we were really positioned nicely to capitalize from that morning pullback. I recapped for you guys the UVXY call option trade, recap you guys the SPY put options, and then if you recall on Thursday, if you were tuned into Thursday's live stream, you heard me talk about the whole game plan for Friday, looking for 348 to be resistance on the SPY, and then look for that continued sell-off. That's exactly what you got on Friday. Friday, the high of the day, I believe, was 347.82, if I'm not mistaken. And then the market sold off from that level. So I'll just pull it up on the chart for you guys real quickly for 1 second. And on Thursday night's live stream, that was when we had the 165% gain on the SPY put options. And everybody was asking me, Mike, what about tomorrow? What about tomorrow? And on the live stream, I specifically said, look for 348 to be an area of resistance on Friday, and then look for another continued sell-off. And then Friday's high of the day, guys, was right there. So if you guys, I see a lot of familiar faces. So hopefully you guys were tuned in on Friday for that game plan, that breakdown, looking for 348 level to be resistance. The high is actually 347.83 is your actual high. And then you guys can see the markets extended their sell-off from that 348 level. So for those of you that were tuned in to Thursday's live stream, we went over our game plan. It was a damn good one. I hope that, some of you were able to capitalize on that level because, like I said, that's a level that we had talked about. That's a level that we had talked about on Thursday, explaining to you guys, and a lot of people were able to bank on it, especially in TTG on Friday. We had a lot of brand new personal bests. We even had one member who got put options on Thursday and then sold them on Friday that pulled out a 1,000% gain. I posted that up on my Twitter. If you guys want to do so, you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter. It's my Twitter handle is at @MikeEdward_TTG. I will post it up right here on the screen. It's at @MikeEdward_TTG. Okay, so you guys want to make sure you give me a follow there on Twitter as well. So we are going to be discussing now this week. I'm going to start off the live stream same way I do every live stream, guys, with a blanket Q&A session. And then we are going to get into kind of what the Wolf and I are expecting this week. A lot of people want to know what's going on this week. What's going on this week was Thursday the beginning of something much bigger, or is it just another blip on the radar and then the markets get bought right back up? Okay, so that's what everybody wants to know. And that's what the Wolf and I are going to be discussing with you guys here tonight. It is a short week. Thank you, Miss Tiny Trader. Happy Labor Day to you as well. We also have, we have Peloton earnings. We've got Oracle earnings. So you guys, we have a lot of earnings coming out this week. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things here on the live stream tonight. Thoughts on Apple? My thoughts on Apple, it depends. Depends on what your time horizon is. Long term, everybody must own Apple. That's my opinion. I think every long-term portfolio must own Apple. That's what I think. I think every long-term portfolio must own Apple. So like I said, guys, before we do get started, though, I'm going to start off the live stream same way we do every live stream, and that is the blanket Q&A session. If you guys are new to the channel, first thing that you are going to want to do is subscribe. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're also on Twitter. You guys want to make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, like this video before we get started. Before I take a single question, guys, I'm not going to take one question. I'm going to answer any question you guys have. Any question you want to ask me, I'm going to answer it. But not until all of you smash that like button for us. show the Wolf and I how much you guys appreciate us spending the time on these live streams with you, answering your questions, doing the best that we can to help provide you with the knowledge and experience and guidance that you need to become consistently profitable traders. So go ahead, guys, smash that like button and then share this video, share this stream on your social media channels, guys. Hit that share button. Let's get as many traders involved on these live streams as we can so we can help as many traders as we possibly can, okay? So with that said, before we get things started, before the Wolf and I go into what we expect coming out of the week, I'm going to open the floor up to a blanket Q&A session. Go ahead, guys. Fire away, the Wolf or myself. The floor is now yours. We're going to give some time for people to log on. Go ahead, guys. Shoot away.
Couple good questions. Two that I saw. Thoughts on Softbank. Softbank, this would be an interesting one. So if you guys don't know who Softbank is, they're basically just this massive fund out of Asia. And they recently made about $5 billion in profit on call options in tech. So the thought is that a lot of the heavy call volume that we've seen in the last month, 2 months has been them. So what do I think about it? I mean, look, if you've got enough money, and they're a massive, 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 massive fund. They brought a lot of, they're early investors in a lot of companies. WeWork is the last one, kind of a, disaster. But, they could make it kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, why are people still buying? So they're buying on top of spoofing the algos. Really, what can you say about it? I mean, if you've got enough money, you can do, you can push the market, but yeah, that's it. And then as for Walmart Plus, I think it was a good move. Finally they can compete with Amazon, on some level. During Corona, they were already investing a lot of money into like app and web infrastructure, beforehand. That's why they were so well prepared for it. I mean, look, it's a normal move. It's a move that makes sense. A lot of companies are going to emulate what Amazon does because, they're pretty much the leader in commerce. So why wouldn't you copy, some of these small things that they do? Is Walmart a good hold? Yeah, I think Walmart's a good one for the long term. I mean, I feel kind of weird buying it here, but I guess if you're just going to chill with it, go for it.
We've got is it a good time to buy Apple, Nike, Starbucks, AMD for long-term portfolio? Listen, all of those stocks, took a little bit of a haircut this week. They all saw pullbacks this week. I still think that prices are high. I'm not adding to anything in my long-term portfolio right now. I own all of those companies that you had just named, especially, Apple's my biggest holding. It's been my biggest holding for years. AMD is now climbing up there as well, is becoming, it's in my top 10. But it's working its way up to become a little bit of a bigger position for me. The other names like Nike, Starbucks, I think all of these companies are good long-term holds. I love Apple. I love AMD. I love both of those companies. I also like Starbucks. Nike's okay as well, but I'm still waiting for a little bit more of a deeper pullback. I'm waiting a little bit more of a deeper pullback. I think prices right now are still a little expensive. I'd like to see like a 10, 15% correction. And that's it, just a correction. I just want to see a little correction in the markets, a little more of a sustained pullback. I'm not looking for like a drastic market sell-off. I'm just looking for a 10 to 15% correction where I can start to add to my long-term positions. What's your opinion on NVAX? Oh, honestly, guys, when you're looking at all of these COVID related stocks, you just have to understand the risk and the reward on these plays, because if you're going after one of these COVID plays, you're doing so because you are assuming that they're going to get either a vaccine approval or a therapeutic approval. But if they don't, and or other companies beat them to it, and vaccines start to get circulated, and that company is not one that's in the works, the stock's really going to take a beating. So if you're looking to invest in some of those coronavirus or vaccine plays, it's not enough to just look at the chart. If that's the case, you really have to know the company, and you have to know the science behind their vaccine and what would make one vaccine better than the other. So, when it comes to that type of stuff, it's like, if you're talking about a long-term hold right now, like if you're asking me about a long-term hold, okay, if you're asking me about a long-term hold, you have to know the science behind either the therapeutic or the vaccine, whatever it is, whatever the company is that you're investing in, or if it's a test kit or something like that. You've got to know the science behind it. You have to know the company more than just the chart. Okay, if it is something you're talking about for a long-term investment, that stock's has gotten beaten up lately. So it's not something that I'm really looking to get into. No.
No, I mean, you're talking about a company that the whole future hinges on creating a vaccine for one thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
For
if you're gonna,
every single, and you have to look at it like this. Gilead comes out with it, or Moderna comes out with it. Two companies that are far better positioned, far better capitalized, far seasoned, have other drugs in the pipeline. That thing's dead. What do they got? Nothing.
Yeah.
You got to look at it like that.
That's why it's like, if you guys are buying any one of those stocks, you just have to understand it's a home run or it's a strikeout. Like, you're really not going to have a lot of in between, unless you're buying like a Gilead, or you're buying like a company that's got a long down, like a Pfizer or something. Like, unless you're buying a company that has a long list of a drug pipeline, it's not like the future of the company rests in the balance of this vaccine trial. You want to stay away from holding those type of positions. Unless you believe that that's the one. I mean, if you follow the science, the drug, and you really think that that's going to be the one, then okay, go for it. But understand it's a high risk, high reward play, where if they get the vaccine, great, you're gonna do very well in that position. But if they don't, you're gonna do it's not going to be a 10% pullback. I mean, you're going to lose a big chunk. You're going to lose a big chunk of that position. So I would just be conscious of that.
I'll make it easy for you. Don't try and find the company that is going to come out the winner on with the drug, because it's a crapshoot. Okay, you're basically spinning a wheel and hoping it lands on that. Find the company or companies that will be positioned for the supply chain of getting a vaccine like that out to the people. You're basically investing in the components, not the actual drug, which is a not sexy story, but it's a company that can actually do pretty well. Next question. Trump wants to decouple the U.S. to no longer do business with China. Is that going to end up being a new catalyst to drive the market? That's never happening. It's never happening. Okay, you guys want to pay $5,000 for an iPhone, $20,000 for a TV? Never happening. No, I don't think anybody would even take that seriously. Not doing business with China?
You
That's
can't.
like
You can't. It's not possible. It's not
that's like
possible. It's
that's
not
like
possible to not do business with China.
that's like me deciding that I want to live the rest of my life underwater. All right? It's not going to work more than a minute and a half. I didn't even see that.
No, I don't think big caps
Was
will
that did you
drop
read
right
that?
after the election. I
Did you
don't.
read that in the Onion or something? Did you
Yeah.
get really Reuters? I don't know. I don't put too much stock in that. Um, the last thing Trump or Biden or anybody running for president we should be doing is talking about cutting off China, you know, and starting a trade war again. Again.
No, I don't think. Someone just said, Do you think that large caps are going to drop after the election?" No.
Because,
I
well, not that they drop, but I think you're going to have to start price. Look, I think that look, it depends on we're not getting into politics, but we have to come to grips with certain realities. If one person wins, or if Biden wins, he already says corporate tax cuts, going to get a haircut. So then you can put like, what if he makes it 5% or 10%? Then you can deduct that from these market caps or the revenue generated, from these companies. So that's going to have an impact. But at the same time, that's one way of looking at it. But then if you talk to a lot of people that trade family offices, like I talk to a lot of guys at Canaccord, at BMO, at some, family offices, and, they're like, oh, well, could just mean normal markets, or more normal markets, people, investors, like myself, really want to come back to the times of like value investing and like normal price discovery. Not
What does that mean?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that word that begins with a V? What does that mean?
Yeah, value investing. Guys, and here's the thing. Eventually we're gonna not be trading in a market like this. So if you're picking, and I probably say this once a week, if you're picking up bad habits now and it's working, you're basically gonna fool yourself into thinking like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Because then you're gonna try this stuff in a more textbook environment and you're gonna get killed. So don't give it all back. Just be smarter about your money.
This is exactly what happened. What we experienced in August in large caps is exactly what we experienced in June in small caps. So small caps in June or May and June, like May into June, was probably the hottest I've ever seen small caps in my entire life. It was like almost every single day you had a stock go from 4 to 15, from 4 to 25, like every day. It was just the hottest I've ever seen that entire sector. And, when people start to trade in those markets or when they learn to trade in those markets, they develop really bad habits because you get away with mistakes because there's so much momentum that you get away with mistakes. And a lot of people that made a lot of money in May and June, they gave it all back in July and August because small caps were slower. Small caps were slower in July and August than they were in May and June. And the bad habits that people, inadvertently learned in May and June do not bode very well and do not, give you good results when markets settle back down or come back to some sense of normalcy. What we experienced in small caps in May and June is exactly what we experienced in large caps the month of August. Okay. And then into that first week of September. I mean, large caps just got absolutely out of control where every single day, you had companies that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, some that are worth more than $1 trillion that are just adding tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap in a matter of days. It's crazy. So it's like the momentum that you saw, that max exuberance and that massive FOMO that you saw in May and June in small caps, you witnessed it in large caps. You witnessed it with Apple gaining $460 billion in market cap in like a week. You watched it in Tesla go from, it gained $1,000 a share in like 2 or 3 weeks. Like it was chaos. It was insane. Tesla was at 1,300 and change. They announced a stock split and the stock goes over $2,000. That's not normal. A stock split doesn't change the value of a company. Okay, and that's what you saw. And now, what Jason's talking about is don't let that type of market and that type of environment cause you to develop bad habits, cause you to start to chase, cause you to fall victim to FOMO, because, a lot of people will sit there and they'll say, oh, okay, I bought Tesla at, they're like, yeah, I bought Tesla at 1,600. They're like, oh my God, I sold it at 1,900. It went to 2,300, whatever. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't believe how much money I could have made. Like, you guys can't think that way. You really can't think that way, because that's how you're never going to catch a stock's entire move. I try to teach this to all of our teaching members. One of the biggest things that I explain to people is like, your job as a trader, guys, and you really have to come to grips with this and understand this and approach trading from this perspective, that your job is not to catch a stock's entire move. Okay, if Tesla goes from 1,300 to 2,300, your job is not to sell it at 1,300 and sell it at 2,300. Your job is to identify that opportunity and then put yourself in a position to profit from it some way, somehow. Just because a stock goes from $1 to $8 does not mean you're supposed to buy it at $1.01 and sell it at $7.99. Okay, your job is to identify that price action, identify a high probability setup or pattern within that stock and within that setup, and then put yourself in a position to capitalize from it and profit from it. That's what trading is. You're not supposed to catch a stock's entire move. And as soon as you try to catch a stock's entire move, that's when greed kicks in. And that's when you end up not taking profits when you should. And that's when the market cools off and the momentum slows and there's a sense of normalcy in the market, you are holding on to your positions and you're watching green trades turn into red trades. Meanwhile, the other experienced traders are shifting and are recognizing the slowdown in momentum, and they're taking profits when their profit targets are reached because they're not falling victim to FOMO, they're not getting greedy, and they understand that markets are cyclical and sectors are cyclical. Small caps more so than any other sector get hot and cold like that. At the drop of a dime, you'll have a small cap sector can heat up for 2 or 3 weeks, go absolutely apeshit crazy, and then all of a sudden it's a ghost town for another month. Okay, and small caps do that more often than any other sector. You have to be, as a trader, just be able to identify that type of shift in momentum. And this is why I always tell people it's important to be diversified. Like, I teach all of our teaching members to be diversified traders. Don't just be a one-trick pony. Don't only trade small caps, okay? Like, learn how to trade small caps, mid caps. If you've got a small account and you can't trade a large cap, learn how to trade options in those large caps, okay? Learn how to trade ETFs. Like, all of these things is what is what I teach all of our members. And that better prepares them for shifts in the market, shifts in momentum, and then identifying opportunity in various asset classes or various sectors. And that's how you become consistent with your profit. If you guys ever want to do this full time, you can't make 50 grand one month if you lose 10 grand the next, and then you make 2 grand the month after that. You can't live that way. How can you budget your life if you make 50 grand one month, the next month you lose 10,000, and the next month you make 2,000? You can't budget your life that way. You have to have some sense of consistency in your trading. And in order for you to be consistent in your trading throughout the course of the year, you have to be able to identify opportunity. Because if you're a one-trick pony and all you do is trade small caps are not going to be red hot from January on to December. You're going to have moments of where they heat up, moments where they cool off. Then in the meantime, you might have mid caps that are going crazy because of earnings. You might have large caps going crazy because of something going on in the overall market. And you need to be able to identify opportunity elsewhere, and most importantly, be able to profit from it. That's what it means to be a trader. That's what it means to be a trader. Okay? It's not about catching a stock's entire move.
Yeah, guys. And I'm going to add to that diatribe. Look at it like this. Think about all the people that were trading small caps in June, and they were like, "Oh, this is great. This is the best. I'm so good at trading." And then you talk to them now, and they're like, "Yeah, I had a good June, and then I gave most of it back."
I gave most of it back. That's what you hear from everybody. I had a good June, I gave most of it back.
And then, talk about all these people that are just like, "Oh, yeah, great job, me, great job. Tesla, Apple, like I'm crushing it. Options are easy." And then Tesla dipped, and then they went big, and guess what? A lot of people blew up. And I know you guys know people that this happened to. I sure as shit know people because they're like, "Wolf, I got into one too many tech trades. What do I do?" You don't get greedy. Guys, I played really one small cap this whole year. I couldn't tell you what they did. And I could remember the ticker. It was ABIO. And it was like a day like I just wasn't seeing any options. And I was like, fine, I'm gonna trade these stupid small caps. This thing went from like $7 to 21. And then the next day I was like, and that day I was like, look, I retired from small caps. Sometimes, you guys recognize that some of these moves don't make sense. Don't push it. Play with house money. Take half of that profit and put it into a bunch of stocks that you want to hold for the long term, but just can't reconcile to buy on your own. Next question. Oh, and RC, it was dinosaur food by the Canna Boys. You guys see this? I got this little thing. Stole it from my kid. Look, watch this. Right? I push this button. Whoop.
Oh, nice, David. You're welcome. David was one of our winners, guys. We did a laptop giveaway. In chat for our THD members. We gave away 5 laptops, five Asus computers. For those who don't know, Asus is the same brand laptop that I use for my trading. It's a very powerful gaming laptop brand. I highly recommend it. They're fantastic, especially when it comes to trading. And David said that he just wanted to thank us for the computer on Friday because he was one of our winners. You're very, very, very welcome. It's our absolute pleasure. We do everything that we can to make sure that our THD community and our THD family has all the resources and all the tools at their disposal to help them become consistently profitable traders. It's not just about the education. It's not just about all the resources and all the tools that we provide on our platform because everything's included. We don't upsell anything. Once you sign up for a membership, you get access to everything we have. But we also, when we can get deals and group discounts and wholesale bulk type deals with different things on, whatever it is, we do everything we can to make sure that our members have also the equipment to make themselves, give themselves the best chance of being successful traders because, trading on a 10-year-old laptop, maybe with a slow, not enough RAM and it's got a slow processor and it's just, you got viruses on it, and crashing on you when you're in a position, you're setting yourself up for failure. Okay. So we do everything that we can to help out our members. And we signed a deal with an Asus wholesaler and we're able to get really, really, really good deals on them. So we gave 5 away to members on Friday randomly. It was just a raffle. All you had to do was to be a member. And your name was automatically in the pool, and we just had a computerized drawing where we just randomly selected 5 different True Trading Group users, and we gave them an Asus laptop. So you're very welcome, David. I hope you enjoy it, man. I really do. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Next questions.
Somebody mentioned the Motley Fool. Motley Fool did an article on Canadian pot stocks. Okay. from Wilbur Hall. Yeah, Motley Fool sucks. I'll just say it. Motley Fool, for the last 2 years, had said, buy Aurora cannabis. Now, how can you take anything that the Motley Fool says seriously if they've been, the main Canadian pot stock they've been shoving down everybody's throat for the last couple of years has been Aurora cannabis, or even Tilray. Canadian cannabis stocks are a trade. The U.S. is where you want to be. If you don't believe me and you want to say, oh, they've got this, they've got that, I'll tell you what the Canadians don't have that the Americans have. U.S. has over 300 million people. Canadians have over 30 million people, 37 million. Okay. U.S. has over, 7,000 dispensaries. Canadians have barely 1,400, if that. So there you go. All right. Canadians are just a trade. There's only a couple of them that even have enough money to last more than 6 months. Next question.
Somebody asked me, what do I think about WKHS? I actually really, really like what I'm seeing at a WKHS. I'll take you guys to the chart real quick for this. The reason why I like what I'm seeing at a WKHS, honestly, is the recovery day that it had on Friday. The recovery day the stock had on Friday, I think, was impressive. A lot of people have been watching WKHS for a breakout of this little wedge pattern or this little pennant pattern. Okay. A lot of people have been talking. We talked about this actually last week as well, when the stock broke out of that little wedge or a little pennant pattern. You can call it a bull flag, call it a bullish pennant, whatever you want to call it. This is a very clear, defined pattern. It looked like we were breaking out of it, and it really tested your patience on that 2-day pullback. And then Friday, when the markets continued their sell-off, that's a very, very nice reversal. That is a very nice reversal on WKHS. Increase in volume compared to those 2 prior day pullbacks. I like what I'm seeing at a WK. I think this stock gets up into the low 20s this week. Okay, so I do think that we get an extended move on WKHS and maybe even get up there and test that 22. This high of the day. 2290 is your all-time high. I think we're going to get up and test that area. So I do like WKHS. It is something that is firmly on my watch list coming into this week.
There's a lot of weed people on here, I can see.
Yeah, a lot of weed questions.
Plus products, guys. I owned 1% of Plus products at one point, maybe a little bit more, actually. And the way I did that was I invested in them at a $5 million valuation. 5 million or what? I don't know, something stupid. I don't own a single share of them at all. I had warrants. I just let them expire. I did not want to execute them. Now, here's where you have to look at it. The products are amazing, just absolutely amazing. The company, the executives, they're former Facebook guys. They're very smart. Problem is, they are not capital markets guys, and there are a lot of big shareholders in this company that throw their weight around and advise these guys to do a lot of stupid things. So for that reason, I have no real interest in Plus. The volume, it's more of a liquidity trap. It took me forever to get out of that position. I also saw something on Cerna, which is like an HVAC weed company. Cerna's garbage also. Um, just look at how many CEOs they've had in the last 5 years. It's ridiculous. I was supposed to do a radio show with one of the CEOs, and he got fired like the next day. So they're garbage. Plus, you don't want to invest it. Why invest in an OTC company, guys? From 2014, you're talking about there's so many bodies buried in that stock. You have no idea.
Nice. Well, we got Tom Donovan says, I'm a brand new member, guys. I love this group. Made 10 times my membership cost in my first week. You guys nailed the game plan last week. I highly recommend everyone pull the trigger of the wolf. Thoughts on Planet 13?
I also, another company I really like the management on a personal level. I know, here's the thing. Planet 13, if you're ever in Vegas, definitely go check out their dispensary. It's amazing. It's something that is so unique. It's also something that I find very hard for them to actually scale. Okay, this is a destination dispensary in Las Vegas. I don't see them doing much, with everything going on. But that being said, even if the pandemic wasn't in full force, you're talking about a company. How are they going to scale that thing? So, that's like, I like it. I think it's a trade. I don't think it's a long-term investment. But I don't think that you hold any of these pot stocks for more than a year. I'm not saying you get out of them. I'm saying that you trade them and then you get back into them, Hold a core, trade a core, guys.
Thoughts on the Airbnb IPO? I mean, you have time before that happens.
Yeah, you have a lot of time.
You have a lot of time before that happens.
Yeah, I'd try and get some shares from people that are already in.
Nice. Henry says, I'm a TG member. Membership worth it, guys. I didn't put on Mike's SPY put trade, but I did buy a Tesla put trade and made my first 5-digit score. Mike, any thoughts on another Tesla pullback? Yeah, Henry. Great job, man. Congrats. First 5-digit score. Congratulations, man. First of many. My thoughts on Tesla, guys. So I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but after the close, Tesla did not get added to the S&P. Okay.
Etsy did.
Tesla, what?
Etsy did.
Etsy did, but Tesla didn't. Tesla did not get added to the S&P. I'm sure Elon Musk was fuming when that news came out. But Tesla dropped after hours, guys, after the close. Once that news came out, I think maybe that might suck a little bit more of the wind out of Tesla. I think you could see Tesla continue to give you a little bit more of a deeper pullback, but I like Tesla long term. I'm looking to add Tesla in my long term if I get a little bit more of a deeper pullback. So I am a Tesla bull. Okay, I do think Tesla is good long term, but I do think that maybe the news, it's like some of the fluff was kind of stripped out of Tesla's valuation over the last 2 days, and then the news of not getting into the S&P caused another drop after hours. You could see that, have Tesla give you a little bit more of a fade as like that FOMO kind of dies out in Tesla, and then I think it'll be a nice buying opportunity long term.
Yeah, and guys, to go back to kind of some of those pot stocks. I see D. Doran asking me about MSOS. I guess so. You had MOSO. It's MSOS, which is the new U.S.-centric cannabis ETF. Yeah, I'll get into that. So, guys, one of the things that we're doing, and we did one a couple months ago. I think we actually did two. We've done one for Trader Palooza. I did my own webinar on pot stocks, like real high level stuff. I'm going to be doing another one this month. And that's going to be available to everybody that is a member of True Trading Group. So it's going to be pretty in-depth, like, where I'm going to be looking at for the next 6 months, what I'm going to be doing right now, how I am putting a buffer between myself and my first entry, and everything in between, really understanding, that there are two different investments right now going on in cannabis stocks. You've got the US, which has got a whole, mess of different sectors. And then you've got the Canadian companies and some of the stuff in between. So that is going to be something that I'm going to put on next, or actually this month, soon, probably in the next 2-3 weeks or so. And this is for all TTG members. So if you sign up tonight, you're going to be invited to that. Also, if you use the code TTGWolf, you're going to get 41% off. And not just that, but if you do it tonight, I know a lot of you have a lot of chaos going on in your pot stock portfolios. A lot of what I've been doing is putting the toothpaste back in the bottle, so to speak, with some of your portfolios. So everybody that signs up tonight using that code TTGWolf is going to also get a one-on-one with me, which people that have taken one-on-ones with me, especially in the last week, I'm sure they are loving life. So yeah, use that code TTGWolf. It's a 41% discount. It's basically $11.98 for the year. And we run through everything for sure. All right.
Yeah, guys, for those of you that may not be familiar with the Wolf, and maybe you guys, just kind of know me, I don't touch a cannabis stock without consulting Jason first. I won't buy one. I won't sell one without calling him to get his opinion on that particular company. Now, I'll do my own, analysis when it comes to the chart, but really getting a understanding of the company, their management, their downline, their operations, like their facilities, their product, their technology. There is no one that knows that industry better than the Wolf. That is why his Twitter is @Wolf of Weed Street. All right. So if you guys are interested in cannabis or anything pot stock related, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you attend his cannabis workshop or his cannabis seminar.
Yeah, guys, my cannabis workshop isn't just like me talking. I mean, obviously it is me talking, but in a lot of you that do know me from Twitter know that I'm very good at making the predictions for like sector-wide moves. This going back to October of 2018, and the last one being March of 2019, where I said essentially that the sector was going to implode for a while, and it did. When I was looking to possibly get back in, I hired usually I get back in the summer. I was like, maybe I should wait a little bit. So it got to September and I still wasn't in. I was just trading them. And now at this point, I could have bought every single position that I had in March. I could have had triple my position and still had a buffer and still had money left over to kind of put that in perspective. And this is something that I've done every year, just a strategy that I've employed since 2014. So I was like, you know what, I really want a second opinion on some of these stocks. So I hired a quantitative analyst to give me high-level data on every aspect of the weed market in the United States and Canada, and true value of some of these things if you just sold them off for parts. And in September, I was like, nah, I'm not getting back in. Sector went down another 30%. So, it's stuff like this that I share with you. And this is stuff I'm not sharing with people on Twitter. Screw them. They got
Hey guys, we've got about 1,000 people that are watching this live stream right now. You guys like what you're hearing so far? Let's go, guys. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that like button,
yeah,
guys. About 1,000 people just on YouTube alone. Smash that like button, guys. Let's go. Show us how much you guys appreciate this 1 hour long Q&A session that we have already been. I can't believe we've been streaming for an hour already.
Jesus.
Almost an hour. We've been streaming for about 50, 55 minutes already with a blanket Q&A session for you guys. I hope you guys all appreciate, we answer as many of your questions as we possibly can. Tom, thank you. Tom says, guys, I'm here to tell you that if you're serious about trading, you found the perfect group. The group is profitable, and most importantly, they care and give a shit about much of their time. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Guys, real quick. All right, so like I said, everyone smash that like button. Let's go. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's get up to 400 likes. Let's get that likes up. Let's go, guys. We've got about 1,000 people still watching this. Let's go, guys. Smash that like button. Let Jason and I know how much you appreciate us. Now, what I want to do now, Jason and I are going to get into, we're going to talk to you guys about kind of what we're thinking here coming into the week with what we think the markets are going to do, considering what futures are. But before I do that, how many non-TTG members do we have watching the live stream right now? If you are not a TTG member, guys, if you're not a TTG member, type TTG in chat right now. If you're not a member, type TTG in chat right now. Just want to get a feel for how many non-members do we have joining us on the live stream here tonight. Whether you're watching us, guys, right now, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. Regardless of what channel you guys are on, guys, type away TTG if you are not. All right, we got Doug Pham, Weston, Frank, Randy, TTG Max, Clip, last night at noon, Bo, Mark, JJ, Paolo, Ali, Wando, Reza, Mark. Wow, we got a lot. The Bulls, Gary, Melee, Keith Edward, Matt R., Ruth Leslie, T. Brinson, Luke Taylor, Crypto Dinero, Raisin Kane. That's all good, man. You can feel us out. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Devlin, I look forward to it. Devlin said member, but I will be soon, Mike. Devlin, I look forward to it. Listen, whenever you're ready, I'm here. The Wolf and I are here. You take your, go at your pace. We're here when you are. I look forward to trading with you. All right, guys. That's very nice. Very nice. All right. So now, guys, if you are not, if you're not a TTG member, but you are part of our TTG3 trial program, okay? If you are part of our TTG3 7-day trial program, type the number 3 in chat right now. If you are part of our TTG3 trial program, type the number 3 in chat right now. We have Elk3 said, is anyone here actually part of TTG? Oh, we got a big fam of TTG members here with us tonight. My TTG fam, if you guys are members of True Trading Group, just comment something in chat right now just to let the non-members know what your thoughts are and what your experiences have been like being part of the TTG family. All right, so let's see. Our TTG3 members, we got a bunch. Leon Levy, Gary Feely, Carl Grant, Prince Gregor, Mr. Wright, Abigail, Vivian, how are you? Melee, Vendigo, Cortez, Vishal, Guitar, Snowbay. All right, guys. Harold. Yes, very nice. Yeah, there's my TGD fam. Guys, my TGD fam, let's go. Comment, my TGD fam. If you guys are members of the TGG family, comment in chat, guys. Let's go. Sound off, my TGD fam. Sound off. Where's my TGD fam? What do we got here? Scott says you're successful, TTG. OG Khan says, hey, yo, boom, TTG. William Robson says, I'm a member, no bullshit. Best move you'll ever make. Crusoe Khan, TTG family. Judy says, love me some TTG. Guys, Judy just paid her entire month's bills and added some money to her account with trading profits this month. Congratulations, Judy. I absolutely love it. All right, guys. All right, so what you guys just saw me talk, I just asked a bunch of people about TTG3 and how many TTG3 members that we had that are watching this live stream. For those of you that are new, and if you're not a tier or you're not a TTG3 member, let me just invite you guys and tell you what TTG3 is. And just if you guys want to sign up, it's a 7-day trial. Okay, so you guys can join True Trading Group for 7 days and give us a try for a one-time payment of just $3. Okay, TTG3, it's not reoccurring. It is a one-time payment. It's $3. You get access to our member dashboard for 7 days. You see the different tools and resources that are at your disposal as a TTG full-time member. Some of those resources and tools are locked, reserved specifically for full-time members. But your $3 is going to get you 7 days onto our dashboard. It's going to get you 3 days in our live trading chat room where I share my screen and I'm on the microphone. The Wolf is on the microphone. We're calling out trades in real time every single day. It gets you 3 courses that are guaranteed to make you a better trader. Okay? These are 3 courses I wrote myself. I put these together specifically for this program that I think are guaranteed, regardless of your experience level, are going to help make you a better trader. Okay. You are also going to get access to our stock profile due diligence tool, which is where we get all of our due diligence when we're looking through and we're looking into different stocks. We also compile all the analyst ratings. You will also get 7 days access to our Benzinga Pro newsfeed and our Squawk Box. We have a real-time Benzinga Pro newsfeed in our chat room. We also have a Squawk Box that you can listen to as news headlines come across the wire. That you also get included for that 7-day trial. And in addition, you will be able to view all of our trade history. So all the THD moderators in chat that call out trades, we all keep a section on our website with all of our trade history. So you guys can go in chat. I mean, you can try us out for $3. Find out for yourself. Answer your own question. Like, is TTG right for me? Is this a place that I want to really learn how to trade? Is this a group and a community that I can really get behind and find support with and get the value and the guidance and the mentorship that I need? Don't even take my word for it or Jason's word for it or any of the TTG members that have commented in chat during the stream. Don't take our word for it, guys. Try it for yourself. It's $3. It's a one-time payment. You can upgrade to a full-time membership at any time during that 7-day trial, but you are under no obligation to do so whatsoever. It's not a recurring payment. It's just a one-time fee of $3. All right. So in order to do that, guys, there you guys can see on the screen, just go visit ttg3.com. That's ttgthree.com. All right. What's my opinion on precious metals? I love precious metals, actually. I'm bullish on precious metals. I am bullish on precious metals. I love gold. I like silver. As the economy picks back up, I like copper. I'm big on precious metals. And Niall says it's worth $3. It'll change your life.
Yeah, we have a trade right now going on in silver.
Oh yeah, go ahead, tell me about it.
Yeah, we've traded First Majestic silver for the last 3 days, and then also last week, 30% on the first day, pulled out most profits. waited, got back in, 10% cheaper, 10 or 11% cheaper, then pulled another 30%. Then also pulled out max, then waited. It's been an ATM machine. Then we got into the $11 calls, cheaper than what we sold the 1050, the 1150 calls, and then we just made 40% on Friday on a less risky $11 call.
Yeah, Jason, I'm pulling up the chart. I'm gonna pull up the chart right now, guys, just so you guys can see the setup that Jason is talking about. I want to just show them, Jason, that $11 level that this stock just keeps playing pinball off of. That was kind of the basis of your trade. So just go ahead while you keep talking through it. I'm pulling up the chart of Majestic Silver now.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, this is one where, I talked about de-risking last week, and I actually retweeted a thing on my Twitter. It's a really good video, just like 2 minutes long. You should have a listen. But I was looking at silver, not so much gold, because GLD fades. Like, if you trade the option actually sucks. First Majestic was just kind of it's paid us, and silver is following a pattern that I've just kind of identified at night. It's doing that right now as we speak. But I think, and I'll just go the last three trades. We got in 11.20 the first time, got back in 11.20 the second time. And I'm trading this channel to like 10.50, 10.55. And then, one of the things that I said to everybody was, okay, look, I'm going to be looking to get back in this, around 10.20, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient because, I have to ask myself, why does this thing keep testing this area? Maybe we'll get lucky enough that this thing drifts under 11, in which case I'm a buyer. This thing drifted under 11 on Friday, and I was just all over it. I didn't even look. I just, I picked that September 18th call for $11, and I just looked at this as, my downside risk is like 1060. And I just didn't see this happening with all the uncertainty going on in the broader market. So we ended up getting into this trade at like 66 cents. First take profit, 75. Second take profit, 80. Third, 85. And then fourth at 90. I think it went as high as 93. But it's just been a real consistent trade. And I like the metals. I mean, we also had a trade on U.S. Steel on Friday. If you want to pull it up, that's X.
Sure. Okay.
So, yep, U.S. Steel. So, guys, you can actually see it.
It's in a 50-cent range for the whole month of August.
Yeah. So, guys, this has been like, this is an option that I teach a lot of new option traders to, what to look for, that there are signals that you might not see or might not understand. So I actually on Friday had an alert set on my phone for $7.61. As soon as that alert hit, I already knew what strike, what date I was looking for. I was opting for in the money, because this thing has a tendency to get into the 790s and then just pull back, and then and rocket. The last time I traded this, I actually bought the stock. It went down to 751, and I bought a ton of the stock just for a quick flip. This time I decided to buy the option. Instead of a September 18th date, I went with September 25th. I think we also got in these at like 66, 67 cents. It went as high as 79. I'm still holding my entire position. But keep in mind, I've traded this 750. I've been in the last one was the 750. The one before that was the 8. Both trades I did, over 20% on. So I string them together. I look back and I'm like, okay, I've got at least 40% or this dollar amount in insurance. And with where the markets are, this thing could get to $8. If it breaks 8 with any type of volume, maybe we get to 818, 820, and then pull back. So guys, and these are really boring stocks. Like, It doesn't get any more boring than this stuff. And people were like, man, why aren't you playing Tesla? Why aren't you playing Apple? Like, why aren't you buying Apple stock? And it's like, because like Mike, Apple's probably one of the biggest stocks in my portfolio, and I don't have to chase it. I did all the hard work in 2018. And also understanding that this is a sketchy market to play in. Boring is great. Boring to me means, hey, I could buy 100, 200 contracts, make 40% or, 26 cents. And, I can make a couple grand in a day. And I look at it like this, guys. A lot of times people ask me, they're like, well, should I be playing this type of stock? Should I be playing that type of stock? I always tell people that are new, that are like, oh, I want to play Roku. I want to play Tesla. I want to play Apple. And I say, well, this is how you shouldn't be playing them. It's like, there's two ways. One, can you buy 10 contracts of this? Okay. Can you buy 10 contracts on a Monday, of Tesla or Apple or Roku? And if they went to zero, your portfolio would be okay. That's the first question. And then it's like, well, the next question is, am I skilled enough to be trading these? Can you be in one of these stocks that I just mentioned and go make yourself a sandwich and watch TV for a half hour and not look at your phone? No, you can't, So right now, I want to be able to get up and have a sandwich. I want to be able to go jump in my pool. I don't need to ride these like crazy waves, nor do I want to just be like completely glued to my screen. But I found that, especially in the last 2 months, I've traded these a lot more than I've traded the Rokus and some of the stuff that was more volatile. But it's these that when I do finally see something where I'm like, yeah, I need to be playing this, they're paying for the whole entry. It's like them paying for my seat at the table at like the World Series of Poker. In July, I was like, I don't know if pot stocks are ready. I was like, I think they are. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put, profit into these things and I'm going to start building my position with strictly profit. Okay. And I built the profit, and then, I did what I do, and I turned call it 30K of profit in pot stocks into 50K of pot stocks without putting in another dollar. And it's by playing these really boring, low volatility things that are going to make you a ton of money. More importantly, you're not going to get blown out. These aren't trades where you trade, 4 days in a row, you have green days, and then on the 5th day, you wipe out 2 weeks of work, and that's what a lot of new traders don't understand. Cause I know everybody's guilty of it. I definitely know that some people don't listen, they're like, hey, should I get into this option? I'm like, no. And then I hear from them the next day and they're like, yeah, I got that option. You told me not to. What do I do? And I'm like, nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're screwed. Why would you get 4 different tech stocks? You know? And that's it. It's just, look, and here's the thing, guys. Everybody needs to go through something like this. Everybody needs to blow up. That way you can actually learn something from it.
I gotta just shout out a couple of people real quick, guys. I gotta shout out a couple of people real quick. James Earl Scones, brother, that's incredible. I'm super damn proud of you. James Earl Scones is a TTG member. Says, I'm 28, I have a full-time office job, and TTG has changed my life for reals. I'm on my way out of the office, baby. Thinking about quitting his job soon. Then you have Ricky Jennings, says, I joined TTG about 3 months ago, and I started with just $2K. I'm now sitting with over $11,000 in my account. TTG is the truth. My next goal is to break past PDT rule and quit my construction job. TTG member for life. Thumbs up. James Earl Scones and Ricky Jennings, guys, congratulations. Those are incredible accomplishments. I'm super damn proud of both of you. You guys know that we talk a lot in chat, but I was unaware of those numbers and those milestones. So I just want to say a big, huge congratulations to both of you guys. Guys, real quick, for those of you that are new, or for those of you that said that you are not yet a TTG member, if you guys are hearing enough of what my TTG fam is saying here in chat. Guys, again, my TTG fam, sound off real quick in chat. Tell the people that are not members of True Trading Group if you guys think that if they should join or not. Because they can hear it from me. I want them to hear it from you. If all of the non-TTG members just asked you guys, my TTG fam, if they asked you, hey, should I join True Trading Group? I want my TGD fam to sound off in chat right now and tell them what would your answer be if anyone said to you, should I join True Trading Group? I want you guys to answer those questions in chat because right now, for those of you that are not yet members, we are giving away a 41% Labor Day holiday discount until midnight tonight. Okay, tonight is the very last day of our Labor Day sale. Use the coupon code TTG920. That's going to get you guys a 41% discount on a 1-year all-inclusive membership. A membership is usually $2,048 for the year. This coupon code brings it all the way down to just $1,198. Okay, so use that coupon code, guys. TTG920. That'll get you 1 full year membership to our TTG family. You're going to come inside of our chat room live each and every single day, see my screen, hear me on the microphone so you guys know exactly what I'm doing before I do it. Okay. I come on the microphone and I tell you exactly what I'm buying, where I'm buying it, why I'm buying it, which is very important. I always explain to people why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's very important for you as you go through your development as a trader and your education, that you understand why I'm doing the things that I do. Why do I like one stock instead of another? Why am I buying here instead of there? Why am I selling here instead of there? Why is my stop loss this instead of that? It's very important you understand my thought process and my analysis, which is why I'm on the microphone live all day long in the chat room, calling out my trades. There's push notifications that are sent in chat. All of our TTG members also get access to our mobile app. Our mobile app is downloaded, guys, on iPhone and Android. You can follow along with what we're doing in chat, okay, even if you can't be sitting in front of your computer screen, okay? The majority of our TTG members have full-time jobs, okay? They can't be sitting in front of a computer screen all day long like I can. That's why we developed this mobile app so you guys can see the screen share, listen to the audio analysis, and also get real-time push notifications sent through the application whenever a moderator enters or exits a trade in real time. There's no delay. Everything's real time. You'll also get access to all of our courses. These courses, I wrote them myself. It's the same information I learned working at a hedge fund in New York City. That was my very first job at a college. That's where I learned everything that I implement in my trading today. I learned while working at this hedge fund. I've since taken the education I received at the fund. I've simplified things and I've broken it down into beginner courses, and advanced courses. As a member, you have access to all courses. There's no special VIP packages. There's no upsells. There's no special inner circle course. Every single course is available with your membership. That's why it's an all-inclusive membership. Beginner and introduction to stock trading, advanced stock trading, beginner's options, advanced options, trader psychology, part 1 and part 2, how to trade a market crash. We even have a tax course that can help you guys with your taxes. You have tax questions when it comes to trading. You get access to our trade simulator where you can practice trading stocks and options with fake money with real-time level 1 and real-time level 2. We have full book level 2, guys. Okay? All of that is included with your memberships. Okay? All of it. All right? So again, for those of you that are interested in a membership, you guys can use coupon code TTG920. All right? All right, now let's dive into, let's talk about what we think for the week. All right, let's talk about what we think here for the week. Let's check futures real quick.
I was doing the same thing.
We're still up half a point.
But where?
On the SPY. I'm looking at the SPY. Whenever I look them up, I look at the S&P futures.
Yeah. Dow 0.81, SPY 0.52, NASDAQ 0.10 down.
Wait, NASDAQ is down?
Yeah, U.S. tech down.
Wow.
Guy, I said it before. You're going to see a rotation. You're going to see a rotation. You know, look, if the VIX is not over a 1.5%, and it's just kind of chilling, that's nothing. You know, being down half a point, which it is right now, that's nothing. You know, in June, that was something. Now, in August, now September, it means nothing. You know, and then let's see where Asia is. Asia's pretty soft too. Hang Seng, Shanghai, Nikkei, China A50, Nikkei futures. I mean, their head's barely above water. Nobody's above 0.5% except Hong Kong. You know, usually it's like 1%. So, guys, I to quote Admiral Akbar, it's a trap. You know, I think QQQ is going to be the one that pays tomorrow. You know, maybe it has a little V-shaped and, you know, it's a little bit of a bear trap in the morning. That's, I think, your best case scenario. Actually, your best case scenario goes, it just keeps going red to green and we try and like build some kind of new support down here. I mean, that thing has been just ripping as it is. But, you know, look, maybe we get another piece of news tomorrow that is noteworthy. But
we got, airlines, I think, also announced that they're adding
like legs
to the schedule, adding flights to their schedule. So they're adding some legs, which means that they must be seeing some increased demand for. Which is a good thing. They still have a ways to go, obviously. But
are you getting on a plane?
I would have no problem getting on a plane.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not like running to the airport, but if I had to get on a plane, I would have no problem getting on.
Do you see what Adam is doing? That is a producer right there. Admiral Akbar, Star Wars reference, large squid-like humanoid. Very good, Adam. Good job. Yeah, I mean, look, you know what? I hope everything rips because I don't have puts, okay? And the options that I'm holding are steel and silver. if silver pulls back, I'm fine. If where the SPY is, I think U.S. Steel goes to 8. And I think that we just see a rotation. But on the gold and silver front, I think that the last 2 days kind of made people a little bit nervous, and you're going to start seeing people, they're like, they're not rushing in, but they're managing their portfolios, and they're putting some precious metals in there, which is why I got those trades on. But we'll see. I mean, there is talks of more stimulus, but I think that those are just platitudes at this point.
Honestly, it's like I feel like in order for us to get more stimulus, I feel like the market's going to have to really start to pull in, like to create that sense of urgency. I don't know what else is gonna cause them to come to a deal. I think it's crazy that they still don't have one.
See, I don't think that it's the market. Let's make no mistake. The market is not the economy.
No, not at all, not at all. But when the market starts to crash, that's when everyone starts to panic. That's the factor that people can have eyes on. Like someone that's not necessarily affected by, if you still have your job, you may not realize what's going on out there in the world and how bad other people may have it. But when the stock market crashes, that's when everyone starts to get scared. So it's like when the stock market crashes, it starts to, ruffle people's feathers. And I think I think it would light a fire under their ass to get something done. But I agree with you. I don't think that it is, it's not the economy at all by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen that with, when we had 10% unemployment, but the market was still making an all-time high. Now we're down to 8.4 unemployment, but the markets are still sitting, yes, obviously we just had a quick little 2-day pullback, but before that we had the market sitting at all-time highs. I just think that when the market crashes, it makes it real for people that are not dealing with the problem. The people that are dealing with the problems, the people that lost their business, the people that got laid off, the people that, can't afford their rent payments, like it's real for those people already. But for the people that it's not real for, when the market crashes, it starts to become real for them. And that's when everyone starts to get really nervous. So that's why I just think that could be something that could push them in the right direction.
It's definitely going to have to be something that pushes certain constituencies to get people to, especially in government, to act. I think that there's a lot of posturing on both sides. I think that the unemployment would actually have to go up more for them to actually do something. So I think we get a pullback 10-15%, like you were saying. That's pretty much right now what a lot of people that I listen to have said, that it wouldn't be shocking that we're going to start seeing these moves are going to just be normal. Where we get like 5% moves, just in a given day on an index. But, I don't know what is going to be the trigger for this, except if not anything but a rotation. So I think that we see this week just rotating. I think people are like scared of tech because they should be, and they are going to risk off. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, I've trimmed out of my out of a lot of my positions, and not trimmed completely out, but taken 10, 20%, 10, 15% out of some of my bigger positions to rotate them into some distressed companies.
Yeah,
it makes sense. So I think that we see a little bit more of this week and probably the following week, and quite frankly into the election. So it's going to be choppy no matter what. If you know, look at the losses that Tesla and Apple took on Friday. Unreal. I mean, if you did the math, you know, do it times 4, do it times 5, and it's like, could you imagine if this happened when Tesla was, you know, 2,200, 2,300, and just lost like $450 in a day? Or Apple losing $150, something crazy like that?
Yeah. Nuts.
People's heads would explode.
Yeah.
You know?
Eric Kim says, can we have increased consumer spending without unemployment going down? Yes, it's called stimulus. Yes, it's called stimulus. You know, you could have consumer spending go up without the unemployment rate going down, as long as the stimulus is there. Like those, when people got their $1,200 checks, then when people were getting their $600 a week unemployment, like, I mean, that was how. If we get a stimulus deal, you will see consumer spending go up, even though unemployment may not go down. So yes, it definitely is possible.
Yeah, that's the only time trickle down economics actually works. You know, people buying big screen TVs and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, come on. We're at 419 likes on YouTube. We've got almost 1,000 people on YouTube, guys. Let's get us up to 600. We need 600 likes tonight. Give me 600 likes. Guys, come on. Give Jason and I 600 likes. Let's go. Let's see if we can get to 600 tonight, guys. We've got 948 people on YouTube alone watching this right now. Let's get those likes up to 600, guys. Let's see. Guys, for those of you that are not TTG members, if you're not a member and you're viewing this live stream and you're finding value in the information and the questions that the Wolf and I are answering, do you guys want us to keep going?
Yeah, you better hit that damn like button.
You guys want us to keep going? If you want us to keep going, type the word go in chat right now. If you guys want me and the Wolf to keep going, type go, G-O, in chat right now.
All right, I think they want us to keep going.
Yeah, I think so.
I saw a question. I think it's a good one. You know, it's one that I'll be able to refer, or maybe somebody will be like, "Thank you," a year from now. I think some of the things that I'm rotating in. My all-time favorite one, and for everybody that's done one-on-ones with me, I won't go into the secret, but I'll just name the stock as Budweiser. I really like Budweiser. Sadly, I bought it at 42, sold it at 48, and then, kind of have to chase it. But I like stocks that I know will be around in the future, and that stories are really easy to understand. These are the ones where I take risk off the table and buy with profit. Okay. Or if I take profit from somewhere else and put it in, like if I sold my Square, which I sold like, I don't know, $75 too early. I take part of those proceeds and put it into, let's say, Chevron or Budweiser or Coca-Cola or Bank of America or JP Morgan. I think what you want to look for is stocks like that Like Budweiser, it's an easy story to understand, right? When this coronavirus bullshit, not that it's bullshit, but the whole situation sucks. Once it blows over and we go over to, God willing, to a more normal reality, people going to ballparks, people going to games, people, high school kids shoulder tapping and, people partying and beer pong and, keg stands and all that good stuff. I think Budweiser, gets back up. They 52-week high is $105, has a dividend. So it's a story that I could understand. It's something that, look, I can take profit from another trade and put it in. And if I hold it in there for a year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever it is, I'm expecting at least a 50 to 75% return on that. So instead of gambling money, playing options, I'm putting money in there and just letting it go. So I'm letting my profit work for me after the fact. And then I'll do this with steel. I'll take a steel trade and then add to my steel position. All right. And no, Noble Eagle, it's not a Freudian slip. So, another things that I'm looking at are infrastructure. Post-pandemic, we're going to need a, post-Great Depression type infrastructure projects, which we really need in the United States. This place is it looks like shit. We need to improve our grid. We need to improve bridges, roadways, all that stuff. And most importantly, we need to build up the middle class. And how do you do that? Massive infrastructure projects. So that's why a company like US Steel I like. And it's one that I always want to be trading because I want to be, present. There's also Cemex, which is a cement company. There's Nucor, another steel company. There's power companies. There's, all of these different things that have just been hammered. You've got the airline industry. Now, instead of trying to pick a particular airline, I think if you're going to do it, maybe you start with jets. One of the things that I gave you guys on stream a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the airline industry, I was like, forget about the airline industry right now. Just buy Expedia. Expedia was $80. Now it's like 103. I own Expedia. Just start looking for some distressed companies that are starting to finally get their head above water. I think that's how you need to start looking at it. And I think that's what we're going to start to see with a greater rotation out of tech as people take their profits and put them somewhere else. All right. Join TTG. TTG3. You get ideas like this. There you go. Thanks, man. He's so quick. But no, guys, this is some of the stuff that you need to kind of understand the approach, and program your brain to understand, cause and effect and where to be positioned. Because that's how you make your money. You don't want to be shit, I should have gotten into this, You want to be no, this is a good idea. This makes sense. There it is.
Yes, I do miss TVIX. Someone says, Mike, do you miss the TVIX? It was such a monster in March. Rest in peace. I do miss the TVIX. The TVIX was my favorite thing to trade. TVIX was my favorite thing to trade. I do miss it dearly. And speaking of TVIX, Hardcore Raider says, any thoughts on what high the VIX might see this week?
I think you'd be lucky if you see 28, 29 again.
Yeah, I mean...
Look, let it go down. I want the VIX to go to 11. I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I get 17, maybe 18. But then I'm a buyer, I'm a buyer of the VIX when it gets down there. And it's just, that's just one that I'll just hold for a little while, because at some point we are going to have a volatility spike. We're going, I mean, guys, you saw how much, it's funny, the fear and greed index on Wednesday was 78. On Friday, tell you, it was, or I'll tell you what it is now, 59. How quickly we drop, you know? It's been doing this. And then it's like one day and it's like, oh!
Yeah, one day.
Everybody's wearing.
We've gone straight up for months. One day. And it's like, it's crazy.
And then everybody's wearing Depends, freaking out. I feel poorly. And guys, I'm sorry if you send me a DM on like Twitter, especially some of you non-members, and you're like, what should I do? And I'm just like, and I send you this emoji. I find it funny. I'm sorry. I do because you guys get so greedy sometimes. You guys, you'll understand this. The longer you become, once you get to the point where you're trading full time, you're not looking at it as like, yeah, I just need to hit it out of the park every day. You're just looking to just hit a certain number every day and just do that for 255 days out of the year. So that's something that you have to learn. And unfortunately, or fortunately for you, like, guys, I've spent a lot of money learning that. And I'm saying like money that has gone away. So it's like, I look at it like this. Like, I've had option trades where I've lost like 200K in an option trade. Like, I've done that. You don't have to do that. I've done it for you. And here's what not to do. You don't want to be the unusual call volume that the Nigerian brothers talk about on CNBC. It's a lot of fun. And when you're messaging Pete or Dan, you're like, yeah, Dan, that was me. We've already spent the money. We've already taken the time. It's like, we're like the old goats that, we give you pearls of wisdom. And it's something really tiny. And it makes just a big difference.
I lost 200K, so you don't have to.
I like that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, so my thoughts here. We're up a little bit here, except for tech. I think you may get, at least to start the week off, I think you may get a little bit more continued profit taking in tech. I think you might see people start to nibble on some value names, and then I actually think maybe towards the Thursday and Friday, I think maybe you'll start to see some of those tech names recover. So I'm expecting to see the NASDAQ lag maybe for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm looking to see the NASDAQ start to recover on Thursday, Friday. So that's kind of my initial thoughts coming into the day, just based on what the futures are doing now, the action that I saw Thursday and Friday. Now, obviously, my sentiment and my thoughts here can change tomorrow, depending on what the markets do. My thoughts on this could change very quickly. Look for that 348 area to be resistance again. Okay, depending on where we open up tomorrow, look for this area to be resistance. If you look at futures now, we're at, let's see, 343.8. So at 34.38 right now. Yeah, I think you see a little bit of a move higher tomorrow. I think we get back up maybe and test the three, I expect us to test like this region again. Okay, I think maybe we can get up and test this region again tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for a little bit more of a bounce back here tomorrow, and go back up and start to test that area. Um, do I like oil? This too shall pass. Asks me if I like oil. Um, I just
Yeah,
think
an Italian sub, a little oil, a little vinegar, some oregano. Yeah.
well, Italian bread, dip it in there. Um, I think that there's just so many better things to trade. You know, um, I think oil is going to be steady. I think oil is going to be steady for the next month. I think it's going to fluctuate. I think it's going to trade in the low 40s for quite a while. Um, and then once you do get finally a vaccine, I think you start to slowly see oil work its way back up. I think oil can get back into the 50s. But oil is not going to start to really move until there's really demand for oil. There just isn't demand for it. You still don't, you still have flights are still at really really low numbers. Yes, people are driving more now than they were obviously in like March and April. People are driving more now, but when it comes to planes and boats and cruise ships, it's like you just don't have the same type of demand for oil as you would have had in, let's say, January. So I do think oil. I think oil is stable. I think it's stable. I think oil is going to trade in the low 40s for a while. But then I do think it could maybe get up towards $50 a barrel again. But I don't think that's going to happen until maybe for several months. Maybe like towards the end of the year once you get into like the holidays. So maybe getting into the holidays and then getting into the winter months, then maybe you'll start to see oil because maybe by then we have a vaccine, people start flying again, people are traveling more for holidays, and maybe then you can start to get oil start to climb itself a little bit higher. But from now until then, I think oil just kind of is stable. I think there's better things to trade right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Guys, and oil stocks and the price of oil are like this. They're going like this. You know? They're completely unattached to each other. So yeah, this is and back to what I was saying before, this is where it's a good time where you should be positioned in some companies. Like Mike and I like Chevron. I got into Chevron because of Mike, because I was like, holy shit, look at that dividend.
yeah, exactly.
Like some people like Shell or Exxon. I actually own ExxonMobil. But the way that I'm buying these things is I'm putting profit from, other trades into where it's like, I don't have to think about it. And I'm not, look, if you're buying for the long term and you're just trying to weigh your portfolio, look, that's trading, picking stocks is one thing. Like that's a skill, but creating like a properly weighted portfolio is an art. Okay. So you need to have like energy stocks in there. You need to have transportation, industrials, commodities, and stuff in between. And like look at your portfolio as an ETF, and look at it as like, okay, look, I'm not going to be trading oil right now because the thing can't crack 40 or it's stuck at like whatever it's stuck. I don't even look at it. Same with like natural gas. And it's like the same way I look at like airlines, like American Airlines. I mean, this thing's been $12, $13 for the last 2 months. It's boring. But eventually it will be something where, you are going to want to be positioned. So, if you don't need to worry about the money now, and you understand the trade that you're getting in, there's no problem getting into these. But to trade on a daily basis, there's a million other things that I'd rather trade, like Mike said, like probably 2 million.
Agreed. Oh, all right. So yeah, guys, that's kind of that's my thoughts. That's where I see um, that's where I see us going this week. That's where I see us going this week. I think we're gonna have a little bit of an update tomorrow. We have to see. We've got to see where things kind of settle out. Like, we had the holiday weekend to kind of digest the moves on Thursday and Friday. Friday, the markets recovered, pretty nicely. They did recover a big chunk of the morning sell off. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about there with the market outlook for me. Does anybody have any questions about the market outlook or about what Jason and I just discussed?
Oh, and I think we're supposed to get a vote on cannabis this week. Actually, tomorrow, about decriminalization.
It's not going to pass.
No, it'll pass in Congress. It won't pass in Senate, though.
Right. Yeah.
It's casino. The answer is yes. But it's funny, casino. Tim Seymour actually got me into U.S. Steel, and and yeah, we'll talk about it in chat. But so it's not going to pass. Cohen reaffirmed its overweight position on Green Thumb, Curaleaf, Cresco. They're also very bullish on Trulieve. I saw a question earlier about Trulieve insiders selling close to $11 million worth of stock. So be it. This is an issue that I had with, that I've talked to Kim Rivers about last year. So what they did was they had an unlock of just about 65 million shares that they delayed for another year. They were supposed to have it July 25th, 2019. They delayed it and broke it into two, with the first one coming for 11.2 million shares on May 25th, which is a non-event. It was all, founders. Founders, I know Kim wasn't touching it. And then they had some of the other people, some of the early investors, but some of the people that had big positions coming free on July 25th. And I have to give them credit because, my assumption is always, okay, people are going to take profit. And I didn't think that the volume of Trulieve really supported it. Well, I was wrong. They didn't. They didn't take it. They waited a month. So, which is kind of a dick move because everybody's like, oh, they're not selling. And then they just start buying and they buy this thing all the way up. And then when this thing gets to the top, then people with like over 10% ownership start selling. So one guy sold $5.5 million worth, other guy like another 5 million, 5.5 million, whatever. It is what it is. What you guys have to understand is, for that position, those positions that they have, people that are considered insiders, and this is just good for you to know. This is for pot stocks, penny stocks, livestock, whatever. If you are an insider or a 10% owner, which basically makes you an insider, or a board member, if you're like a C-suite exec, like your CFO, CMO, CEO, COO, whatever, you can only sell 1% of the shares outstanding every 90 days. So a lot of times these things are scheduled. And if you look, there were sales similar to this that happened the same time of year last time. So it is what it is, guys. Like a lot of these people don't take profit. Truly is still a great company. It doesn't let them get out. Blow it out, I say. Blow it out. Let that thing go into the shitter. It's one of the best companies in North America. Give everybody an opportunity to buy the stock. That's it. That's all I got. Kim, I'm going to send this clip to you, and I know you're going to love it. All right? Kim Rivers is the CEO, guys. Everybody should follow her. She gave me a lot of swag. I got to get my card.
If we see an executive order or stimulus checks, how would you see that affecting the or moving the market to go up? Market to go up. If there's stimulus news, markets are going to go up.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if it'll go up.
I think it will.
I mean, it's kind of well. It's like, oh, what happened when he said all that stuff like payroll tax cut?
No, not saying just they're saying if there is an executive order or if there are stimulus checks.
He can't. He can't.
No, not saying an executive order for stimulus checks. Saying if there are stimulus checks.
Oh,
And I'm saying that's what I'm saying. An executive order, no. But if there actually, if there is a stimulus package that involves stimulus checks, yes, I think the markets go up. If I'm reading that question correctly, I mean, maybe I didn't understand. Maybe I didn't read their question correctly, but
yeah,
I thought that's what they were asking.
yeah. You just have to understand. Congress holds the power of the purse, so anything to do with money, would be great though. Yeah, and back to what I was saying before, you're just going to need to see unemployment go up. We're going to need to see a spike in unemployment, or maybe what's going to happen is with all the people that are starting to get evicted, especially during a pandemic, which is kind of messed up. I mean, not kind of, it's messed up. But I understand. I understand it because I could be a landlord, and that's my business. That's how I provide for my family, and at some point you have to these people need to have money coming in, so it's a real tough issue. And so I think that they need to come up with some kind of stimulus or deferment or like super low interest loan that they could give people so that they can pay the landlords. I don't know. There's no real easy solutions, but once that starts to kind of spiral out of control, once all these things where they've been deferred, like the forbearance on mortgages, student loans, credit cards, I make a car payment. So I made a car payment the other day, and I paid towards the principal. But as soon as you call up, it's like, are you experiencing, financial trauma from COVID? We've got solutions. Okay. And basically it's like, you want to put this shit off for 3 months? We got you. Then you just pay it all in one lump sum. And a lot of people are doing that. So then what happens, when it's like, hey, your forbearance on your mortgage has been a year. Your mortgage was $5,000 a month, okay? And then you owe $60,000 plus the 13th month, so $65,000 all at once, okay? It's kind of like, look at it like this. So like one of the things with like the executive order for the payroll tax cut, my wife just told the head of her HR at her company or whoever does payroll, don't take out my payroll. I don't keep it in. She's like, just pay it. Because she doesn't want to get into, like, you don't pay it now for the rest of 2020, but then in 2021, you have to pay it. So it ends up taking more out of your paycheck. She's just like, nah. Like, I don't need the money now. Just don't do that. So these are some of the things that are going to have to get Congress and the Senate to act, because we still have a lot of issues. So yeah, I mean, give people $400 or $600. Go for it.
Yeah.
Joel Marshall, I think if you're going to go short real estate, while I did like SRS and DRV, I think it's probably just better to short Simon Property Group. It's symbol SPG. You short it anytime it gets to 70 or 72, just by puts. They're the largest mall retailer.
Let's see. Um, do hedge fund supercomputers control the market? I mean, it's an algo. I mean, guys. I mean, the markets are computer trading based and algorithmic trading based. 80% of all the liquidity transacted on the New York Stock Exchange is done through computer or algorithm, some type of algorithmic trading. The other 20% are actually humans like you and I. Um, so I guess you could say that supercomputers control the market. I guess you could. What are my thoughts on UVXY from JJ? I think it's gonna fizzle out a little bit. I think it's gonna fizzle out a little bit this week, especially tomorrow. I think tomorrow it fizzles out a little bit. I think we get um, a little bit of a bounce back day tomorrow, and then maybe we kind of base it out a little bit. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Like I said, I think you're going to see maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, Nasdaq lags, and then Thursday, Friday, I think Nasdaq kind of comes back into the forefront. But we'll see. We'll see. It's tough. It's really tough to tell when you have like a shakeup like we had on Thursday and Friday. And especially with having a long weekend on top of that, with the markets closed today, it's really really tough to like really put a hard stance. Really tough to put a hard stance on what you think markets are going to do. But that's looking at futures right now, looking at the action that we saw over the last 2 days. I'm pretty comfortable that saying something like that is what we have. Is a likely scenario. All right.
What are your thoughts on AG? On silver? My thoughts on AG. So I have half of my position left. Um, if it dips, I'll probably trade it again. If it gets over $1, I'll probably sell it. It's that simple. But I think that the silver trade is going to be here for a while. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of time to figure it out. Those options expire in like 20 days. Actually, 18 days.
How much control of the market do dark pools really have? Seems I always hear about them. Um,
You hear about it from people that don't really understand them.
yeah, that's who you hear talk about it. Like the people that you hear talk about dark pools are people that have no idea what they even are. Um,
Market.
they're not gonna move a market. It's just a way for hedge funds and institutions to transact privately, large positions. That's really all it is, guys. I mean, it's not something that just because there's a dark pool transaction that the entire market's going to move based on that.
I'll make it easy for you. There's a woman that she does infomercials on CNBC. She's
Oh yeah,
sitting at her couch and she's like putting up her feet. She's like, this is how I beat the market.
yeah.
She's like, now I just sit home and I know. And she's like, sips her pina colada or whatever the fuck it
She
is.
says she was like an executive assistant for a hedge fund manager, and
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah, yeah,
learned
yeah.
all of his tricks.
And you know what? She gives away the book for free. And you're like, wow,
What?
she's giving me the book for free. But just pay shipping and handling. Funny story, one of my old business partners, his brother did this. He would buy like dollar products from China and then give them away, like petty paws, where they like cut your dog's toenails or whatever. And he'd be like, just, pay the shipping. He'd buy those things for $1, charge people $1, so he'd make 100% on the petty paws. But then it would be like $15.99 or like $20 for two. He made all of his money on the shipping and handling. That was the whole business model. So every time you see somebody trying to give you something for free, it's a scam. There's nothing. That book is like, it's a fucking DVD. Who has a DVD player now?
Oh my god. What are your thoughts on Softbank? Noble Eagle, I'm assuming when you say what are my thoughts on Softbank, I assume you are referring to the rumors that were circulating over the week about how they like bought up a bunch of derivative products in a lot of big tech names, and that was what was responsible for the explosion in a lot of the tech names. I assume that's what you're referring to, because there's a lot of rumors circulating right now that SoftBank ended up going after some of these options and these leveraged options, these leveraged derivative products, and that ended up kind of fueling the rally that you saw in a lot of these big tech names. I don't know if it's true or not. It's a rumor that was going around last week. You might hear more about it this week. But if that's true, then that would be interesting. Um, but I just don't know how true it is or not yet. It was a rumor that was going around over like on Thursday and Friday. So I got to see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it wouldn't make a difference. They didn't do anything illegal.
Oh no, they didn't do it. But if that's what was fueling the tech kind of FOMO run, it would be interesting.
Ask Johnny Lambo about his twerking skills. I heard he gave you good brain in Montreal. I don't know who you're talking to. Are you talking to me? I'm friends with Johnny Lambo. I haven't been to Montreal since I was 18. I don't think Johnny Lambo was alive at that time. So, why are you talking about me giving brain to somebody? Or getting brain? Ooh, some sick people on YouTube. But I'm glad you are okay with my life choices, whatever they are. Thank you. Oh, you're talking to somebody else? Oh, then troll away to somebody else. Thoughts on Rocket Mortgage? I don't know. Uh, they crushed it. They crushed their earnings. They just crushed it at the wrong. They just announced the wrong week. They
Yeah,
should. If they announced this last week or on Monday, the thing would have hit $40. Instead, they destroyed their earnings and they went down. That happens, man. Market dictates price. You know, it's going to happen. It just so happened that it was something that we got into, but the difference is we got in and we took all the risk out of the equation. So I took all of my profit, traded it throughout the entire day, and then I went in to earnings with 3 contracts, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. So I'm not losing any money. I just lost a little bit of the profits. Ooh, good question. Thoughts on Battery Day? Yeah, Battery Day will be a good day. That'll make everybody forget about everything that just happened on Tesla.
what are my thoughts on NVIDIA? They've released a spec for the 3000 series graphics card. They look pretty good. They released them on September 17th. I love NVIDIA. I'm a large shareholder of NVIDIA. It's one of my larger positions. I love NVIDIA. I think that their graphics cards and if you guys are looking for semiconductor space, I think AMD and NVIDIA are top tier. I think they're top tier. And I think the company is only going to get bigger and better. So I am a long-term bull on NVIDIA.
I got a question. Jacob Shaw, Wolf, how do you follow along when you're in an option taking your 13th profit instead of telling profit by percentage? Because when it gets up, when I get to like my 13th profit, it's because I started with a lot of contracts or I reloaded a lot of contracts. And at that point, I'm just not being greedy. I'm just selling at a certain amount of contracts if it's like 10 cents higher. I'm either going 5, 10, or 15, 20 cents higher each move. Sometimes it comes to a point where, I've got a big position and I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a bunch off, but then this thing just keeps ripping. And then I'm like, instead of like selling 10 contracts, I have to sell 5. Or instead of selling 5, I have to sell 3, 2, or whatever it is. I'm just trying to squeeze as much profit out as possible. It was like, I think the last time I had like a 13th take profit was like Roku. Like in June, I traded Roku and I bought a stupid amount of contracts, and it ended up being just a massive, massive win. I made like 70 grand on the trade, and I was like 13th take profit. The part that you don't hear is that the thing ended up going even higher, and I left like 300 grand on the table. So at that point, percentage is out the window. It's just about profit taking. Because look, you're going to realize that, over your lifetime of trading, the home runs are just going to come. But once you go over 100%, you should be like taking, because you need those, and you can't be like, oh, I left all this money on the table. So at some point, percentage doesn't matter, and it's just like 10 cents, 20 cents at a time.
Guys, how many non-TTG members do we still have here in chat? How many non-TTG members we still have here? Just type TTG in chat.
Mr. Wright, I think you have one too many commas in that Microsoft. That's $190 billion. That's more money than Jeff Bezos is worth. Yeah, he didn't cash out $190 billion.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
He couldn't. You can't cash out. One, he doesn't have that much stock, but two, he would have to not be the CEO, and yeah, remember 1% of the OS every 90 days.
Guys, if we get up to 600 likes on this video, then the Wolf and I will keep going for another 10 minutes. Otherwise, we're going to bed.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. It's 10:45, guys. We get to 600 likes. Otherwise, the Wolf and I are going to bed.
Got me taking Boost Oxygen here.
Does that actually work?
Yeah. It's good.
I mean, but does it like really work, or is it just kind of like a?
The first time I used it was in Vail, and I had a headache. I was just like sucking on it all night till my headache went away. But yeah, it's just pure oxygen.
What do you guys think about PRTY? I don't know.
Party?
I haven't looked at it.
Is that Party City? Is PRTY Party City?
No. Yeah.
They have a helium shortage, guys.
Wait, they still have a helium shortage?
Dude, the price, I just bought balloons there. I was like, fuck off. When I was like, how much for these balloons? I was like, fuck off. I'm not buying these. Like, you're out of your goddamn mind. $27 for 4 balloons. I'm rich. I'm not stupid.
It's got to get through $3, guys. It's got to you got to get through like $3.25, and then PRTY has a lot of room.
Is it like $3? You guys like trading grenades. Woo! Guys, that trade's over, man. That trade's over. That thing had its day when it made the move. Now you guys are just playing with, throwing each other. It's like you light a stick of dynamite and you're like in a circle throwing it to each other. That's what you're doing.
All right, guys. Well, since you guys did not get us up to 600 likes, that does it here for Jason and I on the Q&As. Guys, listen, today's the last day. Our Labor Day sale is over today at midnight. You got an hour and 15 minutes left to take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Get a 41% discount on a 1-year all-inclusive membership to True Trading Group by using the coupon code TTG920. That's TTG920 was going to get you guys a 41% discount on an all-inclusive 1-year membership. You guys get access to everything. There are no upsells, okay? There are no upsells. Tomorrow after midnight, that $11.98 price for the 1 year is no more. Okay, our membership is usually $2,048. With this coupon code, you can get it for only $1,198 for the full year. That's going to get you all of our courses, the entire THD curriculum, beginner courses and advanced courses. It gets you the mobile app. It gets you our simulator, our stock screener, our stock profile, due diligence section. Okay, it gets you access to all of our webinars, all of our workshops, our Trader Palooza virtual trading seminars. You guys get access to literally everything that we have to offer. One-on-one mentor. You guys get access to private study groups. You get access to everything with this one-time all-inclusive membership. Okay, there are no upsells ever. All right, this expires at midnight tonight. Okay, this coupon code also does not apply to TTG3 members. If you are a TTG3 member, you will not be able to get a 41% discount. Okay, we do have our own discounts that we do offer TTG3 trial members, but if you guys want the 41% discount and you want that $11.98 price point before it expires at midnight, you've got to use coupon code TTG920. All right, and that's going to get you guys that price because tonight is the last night to save 41%.
And if you use that code TTG Wolf, you get access to my new pot stock webinar, but you get a one-on-one with me. So you get 41% and you get a one-on-one with me. So might want to consider that. I got a world of knowledge inside this brain. All for you. I just like...
Holy crap. Avi Vaknin says, Mike, did you ever make 2,000% profit? I did. I spent $1,000 on TTG and made at least 20K in the last 3 to 4 months. Woo! Hell yes! That's incredible. That is
it's
incredible.
True. You know,
Avi Vaknin, congratulations. Spent $1,000 on a True Trading Group membership and has made at least 20K in the last 3 to 4 months. TTG is a no-brainer. Avi, congratulations, man. That's incredible. Good for you.
You know, Avi has a real good point. We don't look at TTG as it's like buying stock in yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys would jump. With no questions asked, no hesitation, you would go tomorrow and buy $1,198 of a stock and have no idea what you're doing and then lose money on it. I'm telling you guys that right now you have the opportunity to spend $1,198 on yourself to get the same education that I received working at a hedge fund. Spend that money, guys. Invest in yourself. This price will only last for the next hour and 10 minutes, and then it expires. The coupon code TTG920 will expire. You will no longer be able to get access to a membership for a 41% discount. If you guys are ready to get the same education I received working at a hedge fund, you're ready to trade alongside the Wolf and myself live every single day, take advantage of this coupon code, guys, TTG920, and invest in yourself. 80% of True Trading Group members have made back 7 to 10 times their membership within the first 6 months of their time with TTG. Okay, that's the stat. So ask yourselves, are you willing to invest $11.98 in yourself, knowing you have an 80% chance of making back at least 7 times that in 6 months? Are you willing to take that? Are you willing to take that bet? I am. I like those odds. But those are the numbers, guys. All right, so take advantage. TTG 920. Get that 41% discount before it expires. All right? That's it, guys. That does it for the Wolf and myself. Again, if you have not done so, subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification button to make sure that you don't miss a single live stream or video, educational video that we pump out here. You don't want to ever miss a single live Q&A session. And you definitely don't want to miss the 41% discount because it expires in a little more than an hour. Use that coupon code, guys, TTG920. Lock in this price because that's the other thing. Once you guys join True Trading Group, trust me, you're not going to want to leave. You guys are going to be part of TTG for many years to come. So next year when your membership comes time for renewal, you will not have to worry about paying our higher price point. Let's say next year our price is $2,200 for a year membership. If you pay $11.98 today, you are grandfathered in at the $11.98 price point. So you only pay what you pay today. You will not have to pay a higher membership rate a year from now when your membership renews. So take advantage of this code now, not later, because this code will no longer be active after midnight. All right, guys? That's it, gang. Thanks for joining me here tonight on this live stream. The Wolf and I thank you. You guys have been awesome. And I will see my TGD fam live in chat tomorrow, and we'll look to start this week off right and see how we're going to kick some ass and take some names tomorrow. All right, guys? TTG 920, guys. Use that coupon code before it expires. I'll see you all in chat tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Later.